Hey guys, Sleepy Reader here. Um, just pumping out too many videos now. I felt like making this video about comics that I probably won't be picking up anymore. And it makes me sad. I just want to enjoy all comics and get lots of comics. But you gotta make your choices, and some comics kind of just don't feel right. Um, One of the ones I'm sad about is Demon Knights. I tried the first issue written by Robert Venditti. It still has beautiful artwork by Cliff Chang. Is it Cliff Chang? Sorry, Bernard Chang. He does an excellent job. And it's not that Venditti is doing a terrible job following Paul Cornell's kind of muddled run, but I just can tell I'm not into it. The new story arc is about vampires. It's about Kane, who we know from I, Vampire. And he's trying to overrun Europe with an army of vampires, and I just can't care. Can't get involved. We're gathering up the Demon Knights again, who don't get along well with each other. There's a scene of very gross torture. Yeah, I just don't care enough, even though I know Robert Venditti is a decent writer. The story's just not doing anything for me, so I'm just not going to hang on to Demon Knights anymore. I have a feeling Demon Knights is doomed anyway. Hopefully my choice is not dooming it, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to work for me. Then I picked up Judge Dredd #2, the IDW version. I don't know if this is considered an American version of Judge Dredd. It's written by Dwayne Szerzinski, who I've seen on a lot of American comic books, most notably right now Birds of Prey. But these stories just seem kind of to me, I'm afraid. This issue was recommended by Mr. Addy, and I respect his love for Judge Dredd, but I just couldn't get into it here. This is not my entry point into Judge Dredd. There was some great art in the second story by Brendan McCarthy, and that was a lot of fun. If the whole issue were by Brendan McCarthy, I might be a little more tempted, but really not that much, because these stories just seem so minor, and I can't get any feel for them other than they're very short cop procedural stories, and that's just not my cup of tea right now. Also sad is Scarlet Spider. I was really enjoying Scarlet Spider a few issues back, and I decided to not get the big crossover or the small crossover of Minimum Carnage with Venom, because crossovers always seem pointless to me, and I just thought I'd save my money, and I didn't want to have to buy multiple books. But now when I come back to Scarlet Spider, I just find there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't care. There's a group of Mexican werewolves, potentially cool idea. Even though the art is by the same artists, it has a slightly different feel. I feel like maybe the artists aren't being true to themselves. They're trying too much to be like Ryan Stegman, maybe, but they aren't Ryan Stegman, and they don't do Ryan Stegman that well. But yeah, I just don't quite care enough. I'm looking for comic books that I'll get excited about every month, and I'm just not excited, so I'm going to let Scarlet Spider go. With everything, you can always pick it up later if you realize you were wrong, so there's no great tragedy. That's rare that you can't get something in trade or back issues, although it potentially could happen. Like, I don't know if all of these Judge Dredds will make it into trades. And I don't know, I haven't seen yet with the New 52 books, when they get canceled, will their last 6 issues make it into trades? I don't know. Talon I loved the one issue because of Juan Jose Ripe's drawing, but other than that, Talon has been very flat for me. Very predictable's maybe not quite the right word, but just no surprises. And nothing about his character really hooks me in. The most interesting character was kind of the bad guy in issue 2. Too bad they killed him off. If bad guy's the right word, the anti-hero of issue 2. And I found myself skimming pages, not bothering to read all the text. I felt like I knew what they were saying and I didn't care. I don't know how much of Scott Snyder's in here. The credits say that the story is by Scott Snyder and James Tynion, or Tynan, and then the script is by Tynan by himself. So, but I'm not seeing much of the Snyder magic here. And I'm starting to wonder if I will like any books written by Tynion himself, by himself. This one's on the edge. Maybe I will pick up another issue, especially if I see good reviews of it. Morbius, the Living Vampire #1, had a really cool beginning. I'd say the first half of the comic was good, and then it kind of lost its air as it went more into kind of a backstory, and it just didn't grab me by the end of the book. The art was pretty good. The art was also better at the beginning of the book than towards the end of it. So we'll see. This might be something that 2 or 3 issues from now I'll go and pick up the other issues. If not, I was happy reading issue 1. I found it interesting, but just not enough to jump on board. Okay, and now here's the really controversial one. Phantom Stranger #4. I read Phantom Stranger 0 and Phantom Stranger 1. Really had troubles with it. I'm really sorry about this cough. It's worse than I thought it would be. And this issue, Dan DiDio still does the plot, but J.M. DeMatteis came on board to do the actual dialogue, the scripting. And I did not find it an improvement. It seemed like DeMatteis was trying to prove his value by just doing lots and lots of dialogue, but it was all, to me, kind of schmaltzy, and the basic premise of the book, or premises of the book, still seem really weak to me. I'm not joining the club, I'm really sorry. But for whatever reason, for me, this seems like a really poorly done comic book. Not just because the dialogue was bad, but because the ideas aren't thought through properly. It's too bad because I really like the idea of the Phantom Stranger, and there's a few other ideas I like here, like the idea that he is trying to have a normal family along with his life as the Phantom Stranger. I have no idea what so I've read 3 issues, I guess, out of 5 that have come out. I have no idea what the Phantom Stranger's powers are. I guess it's God or a higher power who just tells him what to do and he does it. But does he really do anything? I don't know. So it's very frustrating. I can almost imagine buying more issues of this to complain about it. But that seems like a dumb idea. So anyway, probably not picking up more Phantom Stranger right away. Sadly. And then I probably will pick up Star Wars #2 in this new Star Wars series started by writer Brian Wood. But I wasn't super excited by this issue. It seemed like a lot of setup and not particularly special setup. I guess Princess Leia is being sent on a covert mission, and that's about it. I did the art. I didn't love the art. To me, it didn't capture a Star Wars feeling at all. It's not bad art, but to me, it just didn't seem at all right for me for Star Wars, and I I didn't like the way the characters looked. You know, the writing was okay, and this might be set up for a really good story, but I can't tell. So I'll probably buy another issue. It might depend on how many books that I'm also interested in come out that week, the week that it comes out. I really want to like a Star Wars comic, so I need to search down other Star Wars comics and find one I like. I love the original 3 movies, but I'm not someone who is obsessed about all things Star Wars. But I certainly think it's rich, ripe material for some good comic books. And I certainly look forward to the new sequels that'll be coming up to see whether they're any good or not. Not totally psyched about J.J. Abrams. There's a lot of other directors I would have liked before him, but he's not a bad director. Did a decent job on Star Trek. So we'll see. Anyway, I've babbled on long enough about comic books I don't really want to read. Rob and Roger, I really was hoping to join the club, but I'm just not Phantom Stranger material. Bye-bye.